How y'all doing? It is Monday. Hit the horn. It's Monday. It is November 7th. Kitsap County. It's wet. It's cold. It is definitely, summer is over for sure. Summer is over. And I hope you're doing all right this Monday. Tomorrow is election day. So we got a lot to go over. We got a lot to get into. But let me do housekeeping as always important. Make sure I'm coming through here. All right, looks like I'm coming through fine. Let me do a little bit of housekeeping. Of course, we turned our clocks back. So that is important to note. Also, with the temperatures dropping, the severe weather shelter is likely to be opening. So, if you are working with the unhoused, please get the word out. Matter of fact, I should probably just go to the county website. You or they can call 211, and G2 will make sure that they get to the severe weather shelter when it opens. Yeah, let me pull that up. Oh, let's see. Kitsap.gov. Here. The page you're looking for does not exist. All right. See if I can find that really quick here. Do remember every Friday, I talk about the events going on in Kitsap for the weekend. So if you have some, do be sure to send them to me so I can push and promote those. Got a really good one. Unfortunately, a little too late for me to announce, but I do enjoy doing that, letting people know what's going on in the county. So, again, whenever you get information like that, please let me know. All right, boy, it's a busy day today. I'm a little surprised the temperature is really going to be dipping down quite low this next week. Not going to be very great. All right. Information here. I'm doing a search. My search is I'm doing a horrible search here. It's terrible. Oh, no, I don't want to download anything. I just want to go to the website here. Let's try this. Trying to get me to download something too. I don't want to download anything. I just want to. That's not what I'm looking for. All right. Oh man, where am I going? Yeah, so we're going to talk about voting. Hopefully, you have already registered to vote. We talked about how to do that, especially if you had a criminal conviction. Your eligibility, things have changed in this county or in the state, actually. So your voting rights have been restored. So you just need to, and it's super easy to do. I've actually done a show on that, kind of walking you through the process. So you can share that out to anyone who lost their ability to vote and now is eligible to vote again. That is important. Email earlier today. Ha ha ha. There we go. Just when I was getting ready to give up the ghost, like I'm gonna give up the ghost. So what did I type in here? Kitsap.gov. We'll put that in the chat for everyone. So you have that info, kapow, just like that. All right. So we should be able to scroll down here. Kitsap County Severe Weather Shelter. Volunteers are needed. I have to zoom in here because I can't read that. Oops. That screen, this screen here. All right. Severe weather shelters provide safe, warm beds to stay overnight for people in need during severe weather events from November 1 through March 31st. We are in that window. Volunteers are needed to help operate the shelters by filling 5-hour shifts in the evening and overnight, where they will be able to help to set up for the evening, check guests in, monitor the shelter safety, help guests depart, and close the shelter in the morning. Okay, so when folks leave the shelter in the morning, we can receive a phone call and pick them up. Okay, so sometimes the shelters are kind of out there. So we come in the morning and we pick them up if we receive a call and a request. Attend a free training course required for severe weather shelter volunteers. Learn about the severe weather shelter program, shelter operations, safety, and security. Existing volunteers are welcome to attend as a refresher about the operations of the SWS program. Prospective volunteers must fill out a volunteer application and pass a background check. Online volunteer applications and more information about the severe weather shelter system can be found at http colon // kcowa.us / KCSWS. Walk-ins are accepted. Registration forms will be available at training. So here are the trainings here. You've got one in Paulsbo that just passed, which was October 27th. There was one in Port Orchard that just passed. Looks like all of these passed, unfortunately. There should be another one coming up here to be determined in Silverdale. So you can call this number here, 360-979-6358, or you can visit the kcowa.us/SWS dash 2022 Okay. Now, if you want to sign up for notifications on when that severe weather shelter opens up, you can sign up for the SMS notifications. Just text Kitsap SWS to 898-211, and you will then get alerts. Super easy. And again, as you can see, we're here, and the severe weather shelter is open today, Monday, November 7th, 2022. Check-in is at 6 p.m. So please get the word out, everyone. Please get the word out. Let's get our folks to the severe weather shelter. It is open tonight, as you can see, and G2 will get folks to the severe weather shelter. All right. Let's see. What else should I share about this? I guess we should look and see where the shelters are, right? You can see that there are 4 of them. There's one in Kingston at the Village Green Community Center, 26159 Delay Road. Opens at 6:30 to 8 p.m. There's one at Polsbo at the Gateway Fellowship Church at 18901 8th Avenue Northeast, West Wing 272. Check-in 6 to 8 p.m. Silverdale United Methodist Church, 9982 Silverdale Way, Northwest, 6:30 to 8:30 p.m. And Port Orchard United Methodist Church, 725 Kitsap Street, 6 to 8. So it's really important that we get the word out. Very hard for someone who's unhoused to migrate, especially if they're in Bremerton, to migrate to Kingston or Paulsbo or Silverdale or Port Orchard. So please spread the word. Let's get our unhoused under shelter tonight and every day that the severe weather shelters are open. And again, please definitely need volunteers to staff these shelters. So I've given you the information there, but we definitely need your help in taking care of our unhoused individuals and families. Okay. So if temperatures are expected to be at or below 32 degrees for 4 or more hours and 1 or more successive days, and or if snow accumulation is expected to exceed 1 inch or more for more than 2 days, and or if there are 2 or more successive days of 1 inch or more of rain, shelters may also activate when high wind warnings are issued. Well, we just had one a few days ago. Opening a shelter is also dependent on the shelter being fully staffed by volunteers for the night. So that's really a big deal, right? So we'd hate to see, you know, the parameters for the shelter opening and then not having enough volunteers to staff it. All right. But again, the shelters are, and shout out to Village Green Community Center, Gateway Fellowship Church, United Methodist Church, and United Methodist Church, Silverdale Port Orchard, for opening their doors and taking folks in. Really appreciate that very much. Hey, Rick, thanks for sharing out volunteer. Absolutely. Did you get the information there? Hope you got the information. If you need it again, just let me know and I'll put it up there. But it is cold. And again, if you're in Bremerton trying to get to one of these shelters, that is a hardship. Okay. And that's where G2 comes in. Good. That's where G2 comes in. So again, go ahead and text Kitsap SWS to 898-211. You always get those notifications. And if you worked with the unhoused, then you can go ahead and let them know, spread the word. You know, if they have access to a smartphone and can receive text, they can do that. But if you're in contact and you're working with them, or you're driving past, or however you interact, please let them know and have them give us a call so we can get them to one of the shelters. I think this will be our 3rd year of being the agency that transports folks to the severe weather shelter. So, and we're also always looking for volunteers. So, want to drive for G2? give us looking for something part-time to do to help folks out in the community. All right. Do I have any other things that I want to share? Just share one other thing because it is early. Pull this up really quick. Actually, I probably pull that down on my personal Facebook page, just putting everyone's business out there. Like, oh, we don't appreciate that. Let me pull this up. I shared this Friday, but you can never share good information too many times. In the interim, tonight at 7 p.m., NAACP's president, Robert Harris, will be our guest on the conduit. So tune in so you don't miss out on that. All right, here we go. Here's what I want to show you here. Get that on over here. Shout out to Tony Ives, Executive Director of KCR, for sharing this information here. There is an information session, virtual information session. That's today, starts in about 2 hours, 4:30 p.m. Well, about 3 hours. It's from 4:30 to 6 p.m. Funding up to $3,000. Okay. And this funding is for youth serving organizations in Kitsap County. All right. So, host substance free activities that promote leadership and healthy coping skills. The contact there is Sydney Perales. I think that's how you say it, at kitsappublichealth.org. Okay. And there should be a Zoom link that will be out there. I actually don't see the Zoom here. So what I would do, actually, I should just do that and be a help. Let's go to the Kitsap Public Health website, see if we can't find the link. At public. All right. I have not been on this site in a while. I need to have someone from Kitsap Public Health come on. We haven't had old Dr. Gibb Morrow on in a while. Oh, thank you, Rob. Yeah, it's a year. Let's see. So hopefully they have this on their splash page here. That would be helpful. Just scrolling down. If you want to see what COVID is doing here in the county, you can do that. I probably will start giving updates as flu season and COVID starts to kick up a little bit, undoubtedly. Brand, let's see. Let's do it anyway. I don't even know what that is. I can't even read that. Nope. Okay. So what we might have to do is send them an email and get some information there. This is all about COVID here. Community health, environmental health, food safety, and info. Let's see. I hate when someone tells me something and I don't have all the information. It's like, okay, so where do I go? That's why I'm trying to go through this for you, so you don't have to try to figure it out on your own. News and media. Let's see. No, I don't see anything there. Well, that's interesting. All right. Well, then here's what we'll do. We're going to go ahead and get the contact's name, and we're going to just send her an email while we're here. Might as well just do what we do. Sydney Perales. All right, pull this up. Get my Gmail going. So I'm gonna send her an email, and once I get a response from her with the link, I will put that in the chat. Please share that out to anyone who does any kind of an organization that serves youth, and is looking for, 3 grand, funding up to 3 grand. I think that's awesome. All right, so it is Sydney, SYENEYTRALES at WhatsApp. Click. Oh, .org. And this is called Mini Grant. Hello. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? Cause I know just what you want. Whoops. And I know just what you need. Are you somewhere feeling lonely? Or is someone loving you? Tell me how to win your heart. Cause I haven't got a clue. But let me start by saying I love you. Ooh. Yeah. All right. I apologize, everyone. It's Monday. It's my favorite day. Hello, Sydney. Let me get that on the same line here. And you please spell correctly. Send me the link for the Zoom at 4:30. Any grant. What is that? Info section. You are awesome. Because she probably is awesome. I probably know her and I just don't recognize the name. And me. I'm not going to bother with all my credentials. I just want to get this thing sent off really quick. Boom. Okay. All right. So we sent that off. Let's get that back. I will go ahead and put that in the chat for everyone. All right. So why are we here today? We are here because tomorrow is the election. And as such, let me see if I can get up here. Oh, here's the voter pamphlet for 2022 general election, which is tomorrow. It is here. So lots to look at. I will go ahead and put this in chat if you do want to look at the voter pamphlet for the state of Washington here. And if we just kind of quickly go through it, let me go ahead and enlarge that just a touch, just a tinge, if you will. We have our table of contents, qualifications, how do I register to vote, all that good stuff. And I'll show you where the local voting places are here. Okay. There is advisory vote number 39, engrossed substitute Senate Bill 5974. 10-year project provided by the Office of Financial Management. For more information, you can go here. Let me see if I can copy that link for you. And now let me do it. Well, it did. It just took me there. I didn't want to do that, but that's okay. I'll put the link in the chat there. It's up there. Boom. All right. At least it did me oh no, it didn't do me a solid. I spoke too soon. I was gonna say at least it opened it up in a new tab, but it didn't. So I gotta go back. And it took me back up to the top. See, I like when, websites will at least take you to the next one. All right. So let's get back up here. Here we go. Zoom back in. All right. So engrossed substitute Senate Bill 5974, the legislature increased without a vote of the people the tax on aircraft fuel from 11 cents to 18 cents per gallon, costing $14 million in its first 10 years for government spending. Final votes cast by the legislature, the Senate, 29 yeas, 20 noes. For the House, 54 yeas and 44 nays. Okay. Now, I always wonder about stuff like this, right? When you watch these commercials and you listen to these airline companies say, "Hey, we've got to raise our prices because, Congress raised prices on us." And it's like, "Yeah, they raised it 7 cents per gallon and you raised our ticket prices by like 200. Like what's going on?" So, digging into the weeds there a little bit. Here's another one. This is another 10-year project. In Gross Substitute House Bill 2076, the legislature imposed without a vote of the people premiums on transportation network companies to provide workers compensation to their drivers, costing an indeterminate amount in its first 10 years for government spending. This tax increase should be repealed or maintained. Right now, the Senate said 40 said yay, 8 said nay, and for the House, 56 said yay and 42 said nay. Now, what does that mean? So this might affect, G2. Section 1 requires transportation network companies to remit 15 cents of every passenger fare quarterly to the newly created Driver Resource Center for fund beginning July 1, 2024. All right, so we don't have to deal with it now, but it's coming up. Every ride, man, I could tell you we do thousands of rides in a year. Thousands. So that adds up. How much is collected will change each January 1 because remittance will be adjusted each year based on inflation. In addition, the Department of Labor and Industries has no way to predict how many passenger fares will be remitted or how many TNCs will be subject to interest and penalties due to failing to remit payments by deadlines. Ugh. So if we don't make our payments, they could suspend our ability to do business. Man, I don't know. Maybe they could seize our vehicles. I don't know. For these reasons, fiscal impact associated with Section 1 is indeterminate. Okay. So this is definitely one that has a direct effect on G2 for sure. And this gives you some information if you want to know final votes cast by each legislature. If you ever wanted to know, how they voted, you can take a look at that. I think that's always pretty interesting to see, right? We tend to, I think many of us will vote for someone based on, a few issues that are very important to us. But we don't know exactly how they're voting on other things that are important to us. That's for later. I was gonna do a open box. I've got some new things to share with you, so you can check that out. All right. Oh, if I'm a victim of a crime, can I vote safely? I'm going to read this. Keep your voting address confidential. You may be able to enroll in an address confidentiality program and register as a protected records voter if you are a survivor of domestic violence, sexual assault, trafficking, stalking, or a criminal justice participant or election official who is targeted for harassment. To become a protected records voter, you meet the you meet with the certified advocate who can assist with threat assessment, safety planning, and program application. The best time to enroll is when you move or planning to move to a location that is unknown to the offender and undocumented in public record. Wow. Call 1-800-822-1065 or visit www.sos.wa.gov/ACP. I actually didn't know this was a thing. So I'm glad I came here because we do work with folks that are, fleeing domestic violence and other things, and uh, I have some information to give them. Wow, that's kind of a scary thought there. Student engagement hubs. College students are on the move. Public universities offer student engagement hubs to ensure that students never miss an election. So keep that in mind. I'm not sure why OC is not on here. Maybe they're just doing 4-year colleges and universities because you're in town locally and you can do what you got to do. Maybe that's what that's for. All right. Gives you a little bit of information here. Congress, United States Senator, right? If you wanted some information here, your civics lesson here. Senators must be at least 30 years old and a citizen of the U.S. for at least 9 years. Didn't know that. Senators serve a 6-year term. The Senate has 100 members, 2 from each state. That I knew. The Senate has several exclusive powers, including consenting to treaties, confirming federal appointments made by the president, and trying federal officials impeached by by the House of Representatives. For the House of Representatives, you only need to be 25 years old and a citizen for the U.S. for the last 7 years. Representatives are not required to be registered voters of their district, but must reside in the state. Representatives serve a 2-year term. The House of Representatives have 435 members, all of whom are up for election in even numbered years. Each state has a different number of members based on population. After the 2010 census, Washington was given a 10th congressional district. So we have 10. All right. So, senators, first up, Patty Murray. All right, this is the incumbent. So you can get a little bit on them. So, if you have a nice beverage like I do, you can read on the candidates. And they'll have a little bit of exposition here. And you can even reach out to them should you so desire. Tiffany Smiley is running against Patty Murray. So you can read a little bit about Tiffany here, her professional experience, her education, community service, and then here's her statement. Okay. I've actually been to Walter Reed. All right. Derek Kilmer, again, the incumbent, District 6. You can see his elected experience, professional experience, education, community service, and his statement. Contact information, right? So, should these folks win, this is how you get in contact with them, right? I don't know what the polling says, but I think he's pretty popular, so he might win again. I don't know. The person running against him is Elizabeth Creasel-Mayer. Creasel-Mayer. Ooh, I am sorry, Elizabeth. Elizabeth K. Her elected experience, other professional experience. Ooh, she's got a lot here. Education, community service, and her statement here, and how to contact her. Executive qualifications and responsibilities. So here you have Secretary of State, leads the State Elections Division, Corporations and Charities Division, State Archives and Library and other programs and services. The Office of the Secretary of State manages corporation and charity filings, collects and preserves historical state records, and governs the use of the state flag and seal. The Secretary of State is second in line of succession for the governor. Okay. I didn't know any of this actually. So what's interesting about this is, operating a nonprofit, I might want to reach out and say, hey, you know, this impacts us. This doesn't impact us. What can we do about this? So, Secretary of State is up for 2022 to fill a vacancy and complete the 2-year remainder of the term. It will be open again in 2024 for the regularly scheduled election of the 4-year term. Candidates submitted their contact information for this pamphlet prior to printing. For the most current contact information, visit votewa.gov. Okay. Bam. So I'll put that in the chat. All right. So Steve Hobbs and Julie Anderson, Democrat and nonpartisan. So those are your choices there. Contact information. Definitely would encourage you to check out their website. Hopefully next year we'll be able to, whoops, I did not mean to do that. I apologize. Took be all the way back up there. We'll be able to invite more people onto the conduit to have conversations earlier. So apparently, people typically start in May. So we're going to start reaching out a little bit earlier. Okay. All right. Then we have legislative qualifications and responsibility. The legislature purpose and enact public policy, set a budget, and provide for a collection of taxes to support state and local government. The state senator, the Senate has 49 members, one from each legislative district in the state. Senators are elected to a 4-year terms, and approximately one half the membership of the Senate is up for election each even numbered year. The Senate's only exclusive duty is to confirm appointments made by the governor. The state representative, the House of Representatives, has 98 members, two form each legislative district in the state. Representatives are elected to 2-year terms, so the total membership of the House is up for election each even numbered year. All right, so this year, the incumbent is Tara Simmons, and her information here. She has been on the conduit recently, and so has Janelle Hulst, who has been on the conduit recently and came to our pancake breakfast. So some information there. And as you scroll down to the bottom again, you should be able to have their contact information should you want to reach out to them. All right. And I can tell you that both of these ladies are committed to working with the conduit. I am going to click on this stuff, guys. It is very sensitive. Both have committed to come on the conduit, regardless of whether they win or lose, and continue to provide us with information, education, and serve the community. So excited about that. State Representative Drew Hansen and Paige Warqueen. I have not met Drew Hansen, like met him. I've shaken hands with him, but haven't had a conversation. He is the incumbent, and Paige actually came to our pancake breakfast. So shout out to Paige. And so here's the information there. State Representative, District 23, Position 2. And then for State Representative, District 24, Mike Chapman and Sue Ford. I've not met either of these people, but you can get information there for each person and contact information. Like I said, if this is in your district, you might consider their website. It might be hard to get it this late. You might get a phone call though. That you might do. All right, y'all. I'm just gonna keep clicking on names. It's just gonna happen, okay? Maybe I'm the one I need to convince that it's just gonna happen and just be okay with it. Oh goodness. All right. Okay. So information is there. And then we have State Representative, District 24, Position 2, Steve Fauringer and Brian Pruitt. Again, two people I have not met. Their information is there. Contact information. I don't even want to scroll the contact information now because it goes to the website. And then State Senator Emily Randall is the incumbent, and Jesse Young is running against her. I have met Emily. She actually was going to come on to the conduit, and I just have not had time to send her an email. Now, I'm busy, but I have to out to politicians. State Rep, District 26, Position 1, Addison Richards and Spencer Hutchins. I have not met either one of these folks. 26, Position 1. Information down here at the bottom. State Rep, District 26, Position 2, Michelle Caldier and Matt Macklin. I have met Michelle. Pretty cool. All right. And contact information here at the bottom. State Senator Drew McEwen and Julianne Gale. I have not met either of these folks. District 35. State Rep, District 35, Position 1, Daniel Griffey and James DeHart. I have not met either of these folks. Again, you can see their statements there. Sandy Kaser and Travis Couture. Don't know either of these fine folk. Judicial qualifications and responsibilities. Judicial candidates must be in good standing to practice law in Washington and are prohibited from statements that appear to commit them on legal issues that may come before them in court. Okay. State Supreme Court. The Washington Supreme Court is the highest judiciary in the state. State Supreme Court justices hear appeals and decide cases from courts of appeals and other lower courts. 9 justices are elected statewide to serve 6-year terms. Court of Appeals judge. Court of Appeals judge hear appeals from superior courts. A total of 22 judges serve 3 divisions headquartered in Seattle, Tacoma, and Spokane. Court of Appeals judges serve 6-year terms. And then, of course, the Superior Court judge. Superior Court hear felony, criminal cases, civil matters, divorces, juvenile cases, and appeals from the lower courts. Superior Courts are organized by county into 30 districts. Superior Court judges serve 4-year terms. So we have Mary Yu. She's running unopposed. Barbara Madison is running unopposed. G. Helen Whitner or Whitener, unopposed. Eric Price, unopposed. I actually don't like seeing unopposed. I think it's good for us to have a contrast. All right. And if you're looking for your county elections office, we are here in Kitsap. So let's go ahead and find Kitsap there. 619 Division Street, Port Orchard, 360-337-7128, or the auditor at kitsap.gov. All right, so that is the state voter pamphlet. Now let's get local. Let's get local. All right, I thought I already had this one ready for you. Here we go. So many of you have probably got yours in the mail a month ago. So you got some information here, ballot return statistics, things of that nature. Got your table of contents, of course. Now this is going to show you how to vote. Okay, so just want to go over this because some of you may be 17, 16, or you didn't vote, but you're like, I'm going to vote for the next president. In 4 years, I'll vote, and I'm going to vote down ballot. I've got time to do some research and prepare, and I'm going to get into this thing. So, who may vote? To be eligible to vote, one must register and be a citizen of the United States, a legal Washington resident at the registration address for at least 30 days prior to election day, at least 18 years old. In the August primary, a 17-year-old who will be 18 by November general election can vote in candidate races, except for PCO races. So next year, when there's an election, right? If the primary is going on and you're 17, but you'll be 18 by the time November comes around, you get to vote. You just got to register. Not currently serving a sentence of total confinement in prison for a Washington felony conviction. Not currently incarcerated for a federal or out-of-state felony conviction. Not disqualified from voting due to a court order. Okay, so this is almost no barrier voting here. The options to vote: you can vote online at www.vote.gov. Complete the paper registration form available at libraries, city halls, public schools, fire district office, and the county auditor's office. I didn't know they were at libraries. That's pretty cool. When you renew your driver's license, you can also do that. Update your voter record if you move. If you've already registered to vote in Kitsap County, update your voter record. You can go back to votewa.gov through October 31, which is pretty cool, even though that just passed. I mean, that's pretty late, seeing that, election is 8 days later, by email or by phone. Okay, you can also do address changes in person. When to register. Individuals may register to vote at any time. To vote in the November 8th general election, the deadlines are October 31st for mail and online voter registration. November 8th, in person deadline for voter registration updates and changes. Citizens may register until 8 p.m. It is not too late for you to register to vote. You get to register, you can vote tomorrow if you are not a registered voter. Okay. You just do it in person, and it is easy to do. Matter of fact, we are working on setting up. If you need a ride to the voters booth, you can give our office a call. And I believe we are providing free of charge transportation to vote. That is 360-373-3000. To cancel your voter registration, so that's how you need to do that, or a name change. Okay. Vote centers and accessible voting. Before election day, this is where you can go. There are voting centers Saturday, November 5th, and Monday, November 7th until 4:30 p.m., and then election day until 8 p.m. Okay. So here are the places you can go. Kitsap County Administration Building, 619 Division Street, Port Orchard. The Marvin Williams Recreation Center, 725 Park Avenue. And the Poles Bowl Fire Station, 911 Northeast Liberty Road. That sounds like a fire station, right? 911 Liberty. How fitting. And then online ballot access. Okay. To register to vote, again, you can go to votewa.gov. You can also watch the short video I did on registering to vote. I actually did that online so you can see it. It is super, super easy. Okay. And then candidates for partisan office. A candidate may state on the ballot a political party that he or she prefers. A candidate may choose not to state a party preference. A candidate's party preference does not imply that the candidate is nominated or endorsed by the party, or that the party approves or associates with the candidate. Now, that's really interesting, right? So when you see someone says, "Oh, I identify Democrat," right? It doesn't mean that the Democratic Party is supporting that particular candidate. I think that candidate is just saying, "Hey, I identify with the left," right? Or if someone identifies as a Republican, but the Republican Party isn't endorsing them. They're saying, "Hey, I have more conservative views." The opposite could also be true, right? They may not state any political preference, but if you listen to what their platform is and what their values are, you'll kind of see, oh no, that sounds kind of like a Democrat, even though they're saying that they're nonpartisan. You kind of sound partisan there, so that's actually good to know. I know we get a lot of pieces of information and there's so much to read, but just taking a little bit of time, and I think the older you get, the more fascinating it is. Like this stuff is interesting now. When I was a kid, this was boring, but now it's pretty cool. So, major political parties. A political party qualifies as a major political party when it receives at least 5% of the total votes cast in the previous presidential election. Hmm. In 2022, Washington State has two major political parties, Democrat and Republican. 5% doesn't seem like a lot. A minor political party. A minor political party is a political party in which no candidate for statewide office received at least 5% of the total votes cast preceding the general election during the even numbered year. Oh, okay. This talks about contribution limits. State law sets contribution limits on donations to legislative, judicial, and county candidates, as well as bona fide political party and caucus political committees. Anyone who donates more than $25 in a monetary or in kind contribution must be identified by name and full address. For donations more than $100, occupation, employer name, city, and state of his and her employer are also required. For a list of people and organizations that donated to a state and local candidates and ballot measure campaigns, visit Public Disclosure Commissions for Washington State. So you can see who has donated, what organizations have donated. I do not donate to any political folks or organizations. Just put that out there. Political party contact information: the Washington State Democratic Party, the Washington State Republican Party, the Kitsap County Democratic Central Committee, and the Kitsap County Republican Party, right? So right here, Kitsap Way and Silverdale. All right. All right. This is important. Marking your ballot. You know what? Matter of fact, let me go ahead and grab mine because I have mine with me. Let me go ahead and get it. All right. So it says here, I'll just flip my camera. I could do this, right? Yeah. This is what it looks like when it comes in the mail. Make sure my other mic is not on. Or I turn that microphone on. Make sure y'all can hear me. Oh, it might help if I actually plug the mic in. Oh. Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? I surely do. Now that I can dance. Watch me now. Ooh, work. Oh, working, baby. Work. You want a mashed potato? Mashed potato? Do the twist. All right. Let me get this mic working real quick here. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Do. All right. So here is my voter form. Now, the mail-in ballot is very convenient. So that's what this looks like. And it gives you some instructions there. Unfold this page to access your ballot. Okay. Oh, and you get a little sticker that says, I voted. How cute. That box right there is the unboxing for later. It's going to be some fun. So after you vote, you're going to put it in the optional security sleeve. Always a good idea. I don't know what that noise is. And then you're going to pop it in here, and you're going to be good to go. Sounds like someone's car alarm. Just got to make sure it's not mine. All right, so it says, you're going to use a dark blue or black pen to completely fill in the box to the left of your choice. Mark one choice in each contest. If you mark more than one, no vote will be counted for that contest, right? Take your time. Measure twice, cut once. Place the voted ballot in the secrecy sleeve, which I just showed you. Place the secrecy sleeve inside the lavender return envelope. Sign, date, and seal it. Signed, sealed, delivered. I'm yours. All right. You must sign the lavender return form in order for your ballot to be counted. Okay. So don't forget. Sign your name in dark ink. Seal the lavender return envelope. Do not circle. Do not check. Do not X. Do not use pencil. No straight lines. Right. You want to color it all the way in. All right. And when you flip it, it's going to show you the ballot drop box centers, voting centers. It'll talk a little bit about redistricting. There's a QR code here. And then all the things that you can vote for will be right here for you. And so you'll see those two House bills that I read earlier. And then Patty Murray and her race is first. And just kind of goes right down the order on what you saw online. See, super easy. Nothing to it but to do it. Now, what's cool is you're encouraged to use the ballot drop box. Ballot drop boxes provide a safe, secure way for voters to deposit their ballots. Ballot drop boxes are available 24 hours a day at the beginning of October 21 until 8 p.m. on Election Day. So I might fill this out tonight or tomorrow if I get busy, and I'll just drop it off in one of those ballot boxes tomorrow before 8 p.m. and I'm good. And I'm close to a whole bunch. But look at all these. Bainbridge Island School District, Bremerton downtown at the Norm Dick Center, the Kitsap Regional Library on Sylvan, the Bremerton Marvin Williams Center, the Burley Store on Bethel Burley Road in Port Orchard, Hansville at the Norwegian Point Park, Indianola Tennis Courts, Keyport, Kingston, North Kitsap Fire and Rescue, Kingston Village Green Park, Manchester Stormwater Park, Naval Base Bangor, Naval Base Kitsap, Navy Yard City at the West Side Improvement Club, Port Gamble, Squalum Tribal Center, Port Orchard at the County Auditors, Port Orchard at the South Kitsap Fire and Rescue Station 8, Port Orchard at the South Kitsap Fire and Rescue Station 17. That's McCormick Woods. Poulsbo Fire, Poulsbo Olympic College, Seabeck Green Mountain Elementary School, Silverdale CK School District, the Southwest Ferry Terminal. That's awesome. Suquamish Tribal Council Building, Tracington Bremerton Elks Lodge. Okay, so a lot of places for you to drop that ballot off. And then we looked at that ballot. Okay, and this is exactly what I was showing you, right, in real time. The actual ballot. Of course, you know, I have to have my candles burning. It is that time of year now. All right. If you live in or near darkened areas on the Kitsap map, you may be in a different legislative district next year. If so, your ballot will reflect that. Every 10 years, district boundaries are moved to reflect population figures reported on the federal census. Again, we talked about the census a lot on the conduit. It is important that you complete the census, right? Resources come into our county based on accurate counts. So when we're not counted, we miss out on resources. And even locally, that's important too, right? So you move into another place, you're like, oh, I don't want to fill this out. I don't want people to know all my business, how many people are here, this, that, and the other. But, you know, it's like, man, I need some sidewalks. I need this. I need that. I want safety. I want resources, right? Well, all those things are going to be contingent upon how many people are in the area, right? Okay. Any questions? You can call that number or email. Let's talk about felony convictions and voting rights. New legislation went into effect this year in January, convicting felons and their right to vote. If you were convicted of a felony, when can you vote again? If you were convicted of a felony in Washington, your right to vote is restored once you are no longer serving a sentence of total confinement in prison. If you were convicted of a felony in another state or federal court, your right to vote is restored once you are no longer serving a sentence of total confinement in prison. You do not lose your right to vote for a misdemeanor conviction or conviction in juvenile court. Do you need to register? Once your right to vote is restored, you must register to vote, even if you were registered before your conviction. You do not need to a certificate of discharge to register to vote. Okay, so that's good to know. So maybe something happened, and you went to jail, and while you're on confinement, you don't have the right to vote. Right? You're confined. But once you're out, you do need to re-register. Right? Even though you were able to vote before. All prospective voters can register at the Kitsap County Elections Office at one of 3 voting centers, where you get your driver's license, or online, right? I mean, they've made this so easy, votewa.gov. And again, I did this online so people can see how easy that is. The online deadline for mail and electronic registration is October 31. In-person registration is available until 8 p.m. on election day. So again, if you are thinking, man, I didn't know until now, you can still vote. You have up until tomorrow. You just have to do it in person, right? And there's lots of places that you can knock that out. All right, so let's take a look at this. This is local. This is more. This affects us a lot. Katie Walters prefers the Democratic Party. She was supposed to come on to the conduit again. Another situation where I ended up being too busy. I actually have her card here. She was the executive director of leadership of the Kitsap Foundation. I'm not going to read all of that. What I will read is the statement. I'm running for the Kitsap County Commissioner because I care deeply about our county, our families, and our future. Over my last 30 years of living in Kitsap, I have raised a family, built a career, and worked with leaders from private, public, and nonprofit sectors to create positive change in our county. I'm ready to take that experience and tackle critical issues like public safety, affordable housing, managed growth, increased homelessness, and environmental stewardship. Okay. Our strength is our diversity. I am honored to receive endorsements that represent many voices across Kitsap, the Port Gamble Squalum tribe, Senator Christina Rolfs, Senator John Gase, Bremerton Port Commissioner and former Mayor Carrie Bozeman, Bremerton School District Board President Allison Rotter, CK Community Council Chair Mark Hughes, Reverend Dr. Susie Bell, Harriet Bryant, Tom Coleman, Lisa Sturrett, and John Rock, and more. All right. And then we have Josh Hinman, Executive Director of New Life. And his statement, I believe people are like me. They desire a thriving community where individuals and families feel safe. They want to preserve our parks, trails, and waterways. They long for real and actionable solutions to homelessness and a system where fair and honest law enforcement can uphold laws. We have enough money. We don't need new taxes. I'll bring 2 decades of experience in leading diverse teams that prioritize spending, eliminate waste, and build trust. As a foster parent and foster agency director, I help the most vulnerable find homes, jobs, education, and support. On KCR's executive and Head Start committees, I ensured children and families had the resources to thrive, including affordable housing and job training. As a business consultant, I've helped local small businesses grow. Right. And they both want transparency. Okay. So there are your options for commissioner. And one of them will be Ed Wolf's position there. Kitsap County Assessor Phil Cook. And looks like he is running unopposed. Kitsap County Auditor Paul Andrews and Mike Simpson. Mike Simpson actually presented at City Council on Wednesday, which I also presented as I cover City Council. And I may play a snippet from his City Council conversation. But I have not met either of these people that I can remember. Kitsap County Clerk David T. Lewis. Looks like he is running unopposed. I've not met him. Chad Enright. I've pretty much shaken his hand, but I haven't had a conversation with him. Looks like the Kitsap County Prosecuting Attorney is running unopposed. Kitsap County Sheriff short and full 4-year term. John Geese, appointed Kitsap County Sheriff in 2021, is running against Rick Cuss, elected experience. Okay. Uh, Let me read both of these. Proudly running for the first time after serving the United States military, Navy for 24 years. All right. Fleet and Family Center, Navy College. It's a contractor for both of them. Fleet and Family during COVID, actually. Professional experience, strategic weapons officer. Let me go down here. Let's read the statement. As Kitsap County Sheriff, I will be a role model leading uh, the office through vision, motivation, and inspiration, as I did with those under me in the Navy. I knew those in my command by name and quickly established the trust needed between us to protect each other's lives. The sheriff's office is no different. I will seek to unite everyone, regardless of rank, in areas of appearance, physical readiness, and continued education. I am professionally trained in evidence-based policing methods that have resulted in 50% crime reduction in Danville, Virginia, and Walton County, Florida. As Kitsap County Sheriff, I will establish these methods here while part of the sheriffs to lower crime rates throughout Washington. I will support and defend the Constitution as I did in the military. All right. And let's read uh, Mr. Geese here. Statement. Throughout my 31-year career, I have helped our agency navigate the challenges of recessions, growth, strategic planning, COVID-19, and implementing criminal justice reform. I have built strong collaborative relationships with our citizens, neighborhood groups, other law enforcement agencies, and community partners to provide the best possible services. I know what works and what doesn't within the sheriff's office. Together with our dedicated employees and volunteers, I will continue to lead Kitsap County Sheriff's Office toward the highest standards of law enforcement. I will face the challenges of our growing community and crime by advocating for the resources needed, addressing crime, and promoting public safety. I'm dedicated to protecting our citizens and those victimized by crime. My experience has included oversight of all operations of the sheriff's office, including jail. I have significant training, unparalleled experience, and a proven track record to continue to serve as your sheriff. All right. And again, you can check out the website to get more information on both of those individuals there. Let's see. There's a lot of unopposed people. Kitsap County Treasurer. Ooh, Pete. I'm going to call you Pete B. Bosanau. Bosanau. I'm going to go with Bosanau. Pete B. Apologies, sir. All right. Unopposed. Claire Bradley, running unopposed. Kitsap County District Judge. Kitsap County District Court Judge. Jeffrey Johns. I have met him at an award that we put on for Judge Doctor. And so Jeffrey Johns and Commissioner Seaman and several others were in attendance. So pretty cool people. Speaking of Commissioner Seaman, did interview him. I did not get a chance to interview his opponent, Stan Gleason. You can watch that interview. I've had clients in his court. I'll say he was quite fair. Kitsap County District Judge Kevin Kelly, running unopposed. And what I'll say too is, even if they're running unopposed, it's a good idea to get to know who these folks are, right? You may be in front of them for some reason. Maybe it's a traffic ticket. Maybe it's I don't know, civil, maybe. All right, Kitsap County Public Utility District 1, Commissioner District 1, 6-year term, Alice Teresi and Deborah Lester. Kitsap Fire Protection District, number 18. Proposition 1. Regular property tax levy lid lift for the fire protection and emergency medical services. So what they're looking to do is authorize a maximum levy rate of $1.50 per 1,000 of assessed value for collection in 2023. I won't give opinion on this either way. You can make your own decision on that. Kitsap County Fire Protection, Poulsbo Fire, argument for the measure, and argument for there's no against. I don't think I see that too often. Usually there's a counter, so there's no counter there. It's like, hey, we're just for it, okay? Okay, that's funny. That tickled me. North Kitsap Fire and Rescue, Proposition 1, tax levy lid lift for fire and protection emergency medical services. This is for North Kitsap Fire. Okay. Again, no argument against. Now, it would be interesting to know is who could put an argument against if there was an argument against that or a rebuttal. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. South Kitsap Fire and Rescue. And so what it looks like is there's an argument, right? So, hey, I am for this levy, right? And then there's like, I'm against this levy. And then both sides say, hey, well, no, this is the reason. I'm going to rebuke what you just said. I'm going to rebuke what you just said, right? So I think that's pretty cool. And then argument is prepared by Matt Millen, and then the argument prepared by Jeff Daly. So my assumption would be I would love if this was in my area, right? I think this is Poulsbo or South Kitsap. If this was my area and this was really important to me as a voter, I'd love to have a conversation with Matt and Jeff because they're probably very well versed on the issue for the for and against, and I can make a very informed decision based on their conversation. And that's it. That is your voter pamphlet. Okay. A lot here, a lot of unopposed. Like I said, I always like to see people. I like diversity of thought. But again, lots of places to drop that off. That's where I just wanted to get back to. You have up until 8 p.m. tomorrow to register and vote. Okay. And there's lots of places that you can drop your ballot off. So this is here for you. So I hope you will. I'm not going to call it your civic duty. I was thinking about that the other day. And I don't think it's your civic duty. It's your civic privilege, right? As a United States citizen. But you get to vote for, against, or not a vote at all. That's a vote too. Democracy. Gotta love it. It's awesome. All right. So I hope you found that helpful. Again, if you need a ride, you can give our call and give our office a call. I was about to jumble that all up. Sorry, I'm congested. So I don't care who you vote for or if you vote. But if you want to vote, I would like to see you vote. If that's what you would like to do. And I would tell you that I don't vote all the time. And that is because personally, I don't always like my choices. And I'm not really a big, lesser of two evils. Just not a big fan of that. So our email is there. Gather the number 2 grow at g the number 2.org. You can give us a phone call at 360-373-3000. Again, the severe weather shelter is open tonight. So if you know someone who is unhoused and needs a ride to a severe weather shelter, they just need to call 360-373-3000. They can also call 211 because we are part of 211 for that purpose. Okay. Again, if you want a ride to be able to vote, you can call our office tomorrow. We'll let you know how that works, and we will get you down to be able to cast your vote. Now, tomorrow we won't be able to encourage, things like, hey, do some grocery shopping and do some other things because it's going to be a busy day tomorrow. But uh, if you want to take advantage of that, we're going to extend that out. All right. And again, at 4:30. Let me check my email and see if Kitsap Public Health has responded. Make sure you subscribe, like, and share. We are at The Conduit on YouTube. We finally got our YouTube handle. Pretty awesome. So excited. We are at The Conduit. Super easy. Checking my email here. Aha! We did get an email from Miss Sydney. All right, so let me go ahead and pop this up for everyone. I said my job is to elevate voices, provide you with information. All right, and she sent that 51 minutes ago. Hello, Marwan. You can register for the information session at the link below. So you do need to register. So I will go ahead and click and register. All right. Let's see if I can put that over there. Oh, it's just like the Zoom meeting registration, before a meeting there. Let me flip that back over there. So super easy. And if I'm not mistaken, the name that you put here is what comes up on your profile. That my monitor is so far away I can't read if I spell my name right. Oh boy. I be that transparent? I am my glasses and I still can't see it. Would you like to request an interpreter? No. Okay. Boom. That's it. A lot of these things, they're like, hey, you need to register, you need to do this, you need that. It's so much easier than you think. This is for a mini grant of up to $3,000 for youth programs here in the county. This is hosted by Kitsap Public Health. So take advantage of that. I hope that is helpful to you. And what's great is I have been sharing that information about the mini grant. And I had intended on doing kind of like this long marathon today and reading into the, to each of the candidates, their information and kind of doing a marathon until the NAACP comes onto the conduit at 7. But I actually want to go to the info session. So you can join me over there. You'll see me on the info session at 4:30, which is about an hour and a half. So, stay dry, stay warm as best you can. And once you're safe, try to help others be safe. All right. I am Marwan Cameron. This is the Conduit Podcast Network. Me in the chat.